Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight, we have race number 4 of the American Sim Racing Club late model stocks here. Let me get the banner switched on around here, running a little bit behind here, so trying to get everything rocking and rolling for you folks. But right now, we're in the middle of qualifying. Cars out on track here, and we take a look at the times right now. Justin Brooks with the best time out here so far here tonight. He's running a 19.27 out here in the 33 machine. Right now, second quick, James Pileski, and rounding out the top 3 is a 78 of JJ McRae. Currently looking here at the number 86. That is Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman out here slots into P number 7 here in the 86 machine. So right now, top 5, Brooks, Pileski, McRae, Hart, and Darling. So we'll see if any shakeups from there. Still quite a few cars yet to take the track. Looks like 22 cars here tonight, and that'll actually do it for qualifying here. So 17 cars taking a lap, and a big congrats there to Justin Brooks as he walks away here tonight with another quick time award. Brooks, of course, missing last week, was not in the field, and then from there he was able to walk away with the pole here. So picking up things right where he left off. So a big congrats to Justin Brooks here. We will be racing action here in about a minute and 30, 125 laps here, the distance here tonight. And of course, the top 5 gonna be inverted here. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here to go through tonight's starting order.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Myrtle Beach and gonna rock and roll here through tonight's starting lineup here. They got them gridded on the pace, or I should say pit road here as we get ready to rock and roll. Let's make sure we have the right track as well, as here we go. Looks a little bit different than Bristol. I would say definitely more like a Myrtle Beach. So here going tonight, here is your starting lineup for race number 4 of the Postma Flooring late model stocks. Starting on the pole will be the driver of the Purple People Eater. That is the 35 machine of Hayden Swank. 'Tis outside. He made his debut last week. He's starting in another good spot It is the 31 of Zach Hummel. Rolling off P number 3, how about a qualifying effort from this guy? It is the 24 machine of Mark Welch. Then rolling off to Welch's outside, rolling off P number 4 will be the 13, that is Zach Hoyer. Rounding out the top 5 will be the 48 of Tim Rogers. Rolling off P number 6 is the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. 7th going to the 7 car of Scott Austin. Chuck Darling in the 88, rolling off 8th. 9th going to 51 of Ron Hart. Rounding out the top 10 is JJ McCray in the 78. James Pileski rolling off 11th. And then quick time qualifier Justin Brooks will roll off 12th here. Then further on back here, rolling off in 13th is Greggy Long in the 21. Then Jay Dungan in the 69, JT Batson rolling off 15th. 16th going to Dave Payne. 17th Jamie Prevost. 18th Zach Nichols. 19th is the 1 car of Tallarico, and that is Tanner Tallarico. 20th is Stephen Roachford. 21st Scott Roachford, and then starting shotgun on the field here tonight is TJ Hansen. Of course, car that is starting fully shotgun on the field. That, of course, being the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Last week's winner will start dead last here tonight. Of the 22 cars, he will start 22nd. The iRace pace car here down on pit road. We head to the front of the field as we get ready to turn him loose for 125 laps. Hayden Swank in control, and off of turn number 4, Swank on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing here at Myrtle Beach. Hayden Swank away with a big jump. Zach Hummel in the wall in turn number 1. He is way up the racetrack in that 31 machine. Everyone will miss the slow 31 here. Everyone will make it safely down the backstretch. That could have been very bad very quickly. So Hummel goes from P number 2 back to P number 9 in 1 lap. Then up front, Hayden Swank leading the way. Now Mark Welch up into P number 2. Tim Rogers up into P number 3. So it seems like that inside starting lane, definitely the lane you want to be in, because they are boogieing down there here tonight, at least to kick off the first open laps. A little bit further back here, Zach Hoyer under fire from the 51 of Ron Hart. Hart trying to make his way up so far. Biggest mover so far of the field, up 4 spots in the first 3 laps. Hart, of course, starting on that inside lane, and that seems to be where the magic is at, right behind them. Pileski to the inside of Hoyer. Justin Brooks almost thinking about making it 3 wide there down the front stretch. And as you guys can see here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, definitely tricky ends. A pretty flat track, but a very D-shaped oval here tonight. That front stretch, and especially turn number 1, you can see kind of further on back, a big sweeping arc into turn number 1, and then that turn almost kind of tightens down to get off turn number 2 down the backstretch. And then 3 and 4, you enter 3 right on that inside wall, and then try and exit as low as you can with keeping the momentum. As we see now, Zach Hoyer back to the bottom side. He tries to cross over the 21 of Greggy Long. So far able to do that, Hoyer with the advantage down the backstretch. So 6 laps in the books here so far tonight. Hayden Swank leading all 7 now, but a lot of shakeups in the top 3 as Tim Rogers has gotten shuffled out from 3rd by Scott Austin. Now here comes Justin Brooks, already quickly carving his way through the field. Justin Brooks up into P number 4 here on lap number 7. He has moved up 8 spots in the first 8 laps. This 33 machine, every time we see him out on track, it is a rocket ship, and that is the case once again here tonight. Top 5 all single filed on out further on back. Long does get passed by Hoyer, so that'll put a single file all the way almost to the top 10 here, as now we look at JJ McCray trying to work over Chuck Darling, the first side-by-side battle on the speedway. Further on back here, Jamie Prevost currently running in the 15th position. Right behind him, Dave Payton. Zach Nichols making his late model stocks return here. TJ Hansen back here. Tanner Tallarico only up to 19th. As, of course, 69 back here, 77, and the 66, I think, all waiting for a caution that has yet to come. Double digits laps completed here tonight, and now Brooks up into P number 2. Justin Brooks still on a mission. He wants that lead early and he wants it bad. Brooks within a car length of Hayden Swank. Mark Welch now stuck on the wrong side of the freight train. He is stuck up in that second lane here. You guys can see a little bit on the broadcast here. Marbles starting to come in as Welch almost gets the wall off of turn number 4. Those marbles gonna make that outside lane even worse here, even more slippery as Hayden Swank slams the door shut on Brooks. Brooks is trying everything he can do to get on around him here, but I think it's going to be how long can Hayden Swank hold off the 33 without burning up his stuff. And here might be the pass for the race lead. First lead change of the night here. It is Justin Brooks looking to the inside of Swank. So far, Swank, though, doing a great job at defending up in lane number 2. Hayden Swank not making it easy. But here into turn number 1, Brooks can have that shallower entry. Trace up that track is, a little bit of contact there off turn number 2. Man, oh man, it's early on and these boys aren't giving an inch. They are going for it, and I love to see it here from the Postma Late Model Stock Tour. Some of the best drivers on the sim out here putting their skills to use as, wow, Justin Brooks just gets clear of Swank, and he will try and check on out. Let's ride on board with the driver of the 33 machine, looking on back to the rest of the field. Looking at lap times by Brooks, best time 19.38, already down to a 19.47. So even in these first kind of short laps here, about a 1/10 and a half of fall off, and that will be the name of the game. These tires definitely gonna go away. The question is how much and how can you keep this car underneath you. As you can see, a very long single file row of cars. As further on back here, we see it looks like the 13 and 21. Yes, they are side by side here. Woo! Long arcs out Zach Hoyer on the entry of turn number 3. Long, of course, in the purple and white 21 machine. Zach Hoyer up top in the Detroit Lions 13. And yeah, last time Long kind of missed the bottom on the entry of 3. Luckily, Hoyer heads up driving that time. Long way down on that, almost to that wall. That's where you want to be here. As Hoyer once again with a crossover on Long. Long will send it in there deep as, caution out on the speedway. It looks like the 36 machine of Hayden Swank here stopped up top in turns number 1 and 2. Yes, he is. Hayden Swank stopped here. Looks like he will get clear and bringing out our first caution of the night. The first Boardwalk Subs caution coming out with the 36 machine going on around. We'll take a look here, see what happened into turn number 1 to the 35. As Swank right now running by himself for the most part. As we'll try and see what happened as Swank just going into turn number 1 up high. And then, Swank just loses the back end a little bit, gets shuffled onto the rumble strips. And then, Scott Austin tags the back of the 35 with the 35 of Swank being so slow. And that will give the left rear quarter panel a little bit of damage to the 35. How does the 7 machine of Austin look? It looks like he has a little bit of nose damage as well to the 7. So a few cars with a little bit of scratches, but could have been a lot worse as that happened right in front of the field here, folks. So under our first caution here on lap 20, it leaves us, once we go back to green flag racing, about 100 laps left in this one. So we saw a lot of great racing, a lot of great battle, and I think it's only going to get better from here. So before we get to that, a quick word from our partners over at Premier Setup Shops. Alrighty, we come back here to Myrtle Beach. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car, and we are double filed on up through the field. Justin Brooks elects the high side on the restart here, so Brooks in the 33 in control. Scott Austin, other car on the front row. Here we go, Brooks on the loud pedal, able to get a great jump over the 7, and we try and go back to green flag racing here at Myrtle Beach. Scott Austin able to get clear into P number 2. Ron Hart back into P number 3 as Pileski will try the crossover. Here comes James Pileski, tonight's second quick qualifier out here in the Justin Brooks Designs number 93 machine. A sweet looking ride out here for Pileski, and he's able to crack that thing into a podium. Has not had the start of a season that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, you know. Seems like if he can't catch any luck, it will be just bad break after bad break. But right now, James Pileski qualified second quick up into P number 3. So that 93 machine looks pretty sporty here at the moment. Let's hope he can turn it on around, because I know he is hoping to do the same. Further on back here, single file up into about the top 9 here as McRae and Darling once again side by side. Further on behind, Hummel and Tanner Tallarico go door to door. Tallarico, of course, started here tonight dead last in that number 1 machine. So far has made it up now to 13th. So that one car starting to make his way through the field. And one car that has slowly been working through the field, hasn't been moving too quickly either, is the 44 Zach Nichols. I think him and Tallarico going to work together, use each other as a reference, and try and be there when it counts here at the end. Further on back here, almost contact there between Long and Mark Welch. Welch up top in the white, pink, and blue 24. Then it is Greggy Long down low in the white and purple 21. So this is a battle for a top 5 here at the moment, as Welch able to hang on to that position here. As Long has only been able to get up to his door number, has not been able to get any further on the 24 Welch. And if Welch, it's contact once again off of turn number 2. That was pretty big stuff. Long had a big time save that car, as they will continue to keep their cars pointed in the right direction. But man, that could have been very, very bad. As I think Greggy Long trying to use up as much as he can. Welch trying to play as much defense as possible. Once again, they banged doors off turn number 2. Man, Long really tried to send it in there deep, get clear of the 24. Looks like he will just not get clear of the 24. But here through 1 and 2 should be able to do that. Now one car sideways further on back. The 88 and the one car slow on the speedway. Chuck Darling, Tanner Tallarico, 4 wide for a second. As wow, how did they make that work? Zach Nichols able to squeak on through, but now all of these cars, this group of about 7 of them, have lost a ton of time to the rest of the pack. So these guys gonna have to try and hope for a yellow, because you can see now kind of 3 distinct packs out on the speedway. Justin Brooks leading the first 4 cars of Brooks, Austin, Pileski, and Hart. Then behind them, Coyer and Long continue to go side by side once again. This is slowing up this pack. So then there's about from 5th to about 11th. So, 7 cars right here all in a pack. And then from that last checkup, it goes from Zach Nichols all the way to the car running in last of Hayden Swank, as we get a caution out here on the speedway. Oh, it looks like Chuck Darling, the final car to go around here in the 88. So we'll see what happened to Darling, but I think it happened a little bit further up towards the front here. We're going to take a look here, see what happened between Coyer and Greggy Long, as these two racing once again side by side. Looks like they will make it work here. Further up in front of them issues, as the 7 of Austin slow. Maybe James Pileski might have something to say. Pileski and Scott Austin gets sideways, and then Austin gets sideways off the nose of Ron Hart. So that's what causes the checkup. Then everyone else trying to get on the binders. And yeah, the final car to go around is the 88 of Chuck Darling. So an accordion that took pretty much the whole field to finally squeeze out a yellow. As wow. So a lot of different stuff going on here. Looks like with this yellow though, Hayden Swank gonna be the lucky dog, so that'll put the 35 machine back onto the lead lap. Of course, Swank, involved in the first caution of the night, did go one lap down to do repairs. Will be back on the lead lap here. Alrighty, so this time by, we are getting told we'll be choose at the line here. So Justin Brooks on the first restart of the night did elect the outside. Looks like we'll choose that same line again. So it'll be a Brooks Pileski front row restart here. As Scott Austin, when the time of the yellow came out, did lose a couple spots here. Looks like we'll restart in the 6th position here. Zach Coyer up into 4th once again. Reggie Long 5th. Of course, Ron Hart in 3rd. Then the front row, Pileski and Brooks. Brooks in control of restart number 2. Here we go, folks. Justin Brooks gonna wait and then smash the loud pedal. We go back to racing. Ron Hart looks to the inside of Pileski. They will make contact. Pileski able to save the race car somehow. How did Pileski save that thing? Wow, Pileski though in the hornet's nest, had to get shot through the middle there. That could have been a lot worse for the 93. Somehow able to hang on to that race car, but of course the big story, falling back to 6th and stuck up on the high lane here. Cars continue to go 2 by 2. Justin Brooks out there by himself once again. Greggy Long, Zach Corey, these two I feel like have been side by side all race long and have still been side by side here 42 laps into this one. Coyer once again up on the 2nd lane here. Pileski able to get down to the bottom finally. Here comes now Tallarico. Tallarico started 22nd here tonight. He's trying to get 8th away from the 93. Right behind them, though, sits J.J. McCrae, Mark Welch right there as well. As we continue to look at this battle for 2nd position here, as Long and Coyer continue to duke it on out here. And both cars very even. I mean, not losing any time to the car in front of Ron Hart, nor is either car gaining an advantage. These guys putting on a great show, and these cars very, very even, it seems like, in both lanes here for the most part. Boyer did get the wall there down the backstretch. That will be the mistake that Long needed to capitalize on. Here comes Greggy Long into P number 2. Scott Austin here trying to drive his way back into the top 3. Now working over the inside of Zach Coyer here. Right behind them, though, sits the 48. That is Tim Rogers. And how about this, guys? The 86 is Stephen Hoffman right there waiting for a mistake from the cars in front. Hoffman right there to pounce as well. And then we saw the move that sent the 93 to the back. If I had to guess, Pileski not going to be a happy camper. He's definitely driving that race car mad, and I kind of agree with him there. So he's going to try and muscle his way to the front as quickly as he can. Right behind them is a battle for 11th here as Dave Payne, Mark Welch go side by side. It's a battle, like I said, for 11th, and Welch has to be careful. Has some cars right behind him as well. Of course, Zach Nichols right there, TJ Hansen, another car that started deep, that 41 machine up into 14th, and then Zach Hummel started on the outside front row, fell on Beck. He's keeping some decent pace here at the moment, so the 31 not out of it at all. Zach Nichols able to get around Mark Welch. Now we'll try and do the same to Dave Payne. Welch able to get back down on the bottom side there. Welch back to 13th though at the moment, but Welch, of course, last week had an early exit to the night, so if he can finish that one, that would be a big win in his books. As here on lap 50, we get caution number 3 here, so we'll try and see what happened to bring out caution number 3. It looks like maybe the 51 of Ron Hart. Yeah, he is at the back here, so Ron Hart definitely involved. We'll take a look here. Hart going through 3 and 4 here. Greggy Long, Long just gives the 51 a big shot, and that turns the 51 machine right around here in front of the field. Luckily, everyone doing a great job out of evasive action here to not tag the 51. So Hart, his night's not over. Of course, all these drivers have a set of tires over the wall, and there's the contact there that sent the 51 right around, just a square shot in the shorts. But like I was saying, folks, Ron Hart's night's not over. Still has a set of tires over the wall on pit road, so if drivers want to use them, it looks like the first to use them, Tanner Tallarico, gonna try and stick some fresh rubber on the number 1. Dave Payton down as well. Looks like the 69 machine of Jay Dunnigan down, as well as, of course, Ron Hart involved in this 3rd caution. So 4 cars down on pit road, everyone else staying on out. So here for a quick moment, once again, going to go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll be back to racing action. Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Myrtle Beach, just taking the green flag here as the field goes roaring on by. Justin Brooks away with a clean start over Zach Hoyer. Stephen Hoffman currently running in the 3rd position. Scott Austin 4th, and James Pileski back into P number 5. Field single filed out here at the moment. Looks like Greggy Long did take claim to that yellow, so Long will start in the back of the field. Gonna have a long way to go to get back up into the podiums here. Out in front though, Brooks continues to lead the way over now Zach Hoyer. Hoyer's gonna have some fast race cars right behind him, but so far a great lap by Hoyer last time by a 19.35, so he is right on the pace that he needs to be. As we have a very overcast Myrtle Beach here. This is supposed to be a day race, but with the amount of sunlight out on the racetrack, it's definitely pretty dark here. As we see James Pileski here trying to work over the 7 machine of Austin. This is a battle for the 4th position out here. As Pileski here able to get a nose ahead of the number 7 machine off turn number 2. Nice and clean for these two. And it seems like the name of the game, you can hold off up top if you need. You know, as long as you kind of hold the car down, that is to your inside lane, especially on corner exit. You can kind of hold your own up in the 2nd lane, but Pileski's probably getting flashbacks to the incident with the 51 as Zach Nichols looking to the inside of the 93 every time into turn number 1. I'm sure that's giving Pileski, like I said, flashbacks to the earlier incident that almost sent the 93 around, but so far everyone able to keep it clean and green here. Pileski able to get by Austin. Now Zach Nichols half a car length clear, probably off of turn number 2, able to get clear of the 7. Yes, he does. So Zach Nichols up into P number 5. Further on back, first car with fresh tires. The one car of Tanner Tallarico pitted under that last yellow. He is up to P number 11. He's trying to knock on the door of the top 10 here, so keep an eye on the number 1 machine. So far, times not too different throughout the field, but you got to wonder if we get another long green flag run, you know, those tires probably going to hurt those cars just a little bit as, woo, Mark Welch gets loose to the outside of Dave Payton. They almost make contact. This is a battle for 14th here. Oh, Mark Welch, big time hit to the outside wall. Mark Welch, that car definitely looking wounded. You can see how much of the right front is exposed on the 24. It looks like still will try and keep the pace, so he will at least tough it out for a couple more laps, but I'm sure that car not driving as it once was. Further up towards the front here, JJ McCray trying to put the move on Tim Rogers. There's a battle heating on up for 7th here, as up front though, Zach Coyer has been able to hold that line of cars off behind him. Justin Brooks has been able to check out to about a 2.25 advantage, but then Coyer doing an awesome job holding those cars off behind. But here comes Stephen Hoffman looking to the inside of the 13. Didn't quite have the nose underneath, so has to back on out of it. And look at that, folks, at the top left, that timing tower, I should say scoring tower, we are over halfway done in this race. So this race flying on by here tonight. About, you know, we've been green flag racing for about 25 or so minutes. And so far, only 3 boardwalk cautions out on the evening. Battle for 10th right here as Tallarico trying to work over the 88 of Chuck Darling. As we look up to this battle that starts the accordion to close, the pressure ramping on up. James Pileski all over the back bumper of Stephen Hoffman, and Pileski knows he has to go because right behind him sits the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. So these guys all waiting for a mistake. Hoffman a little bit of a wall touch, but was able to put the power down pretty nicely, able to give himself about a car length advantage here. As how will they time on up with the lap traffic here? Looks like the 69 machine will get up and out of the way. Will Zach Nichols be able to get clear? Yes, just enough. As here we go with that lap traffic though. That slowed up the 13 Accord just enough. Here comes Stephen Hoffman to pounce on it. Battle for P number 2 here as Hoffman. A little bit of connection issue, a little bit of blinking. Let's hope he can get that cleared on up and does not disconnect from the race, because it'll be a heartbreak here. Pileski now looking to the inside of Coyer. This is going to be a battle for 3rd here. Coyer going to try and slam the door shut. Won't have the room here. Here's James Pileski. Pileski now definitely has position on the 13 machine as a caution flag comes on out here. Man, oh man, just as it was getting interesting inside the top 5, we take a look at a stop 21 machine of Greggy Long. Long able to finally get that car rolling, but it looks like we'll be 1 lap down. So we will see here. It looks like, oh, maybe some payback from our earlier incident here tonight. Long and Hart nose to tail here. Hart gives Long a shot in the left rear quarter panel going down the backstretch, and that will spin the 21 on out. Hart gets a piece of it as well. We'll see if we got a different camera angle to see what happened further on back, because I don't know if maybe one car moved down more than the other, but definitely contact for sure between the two of them. Let's see if maybe our static cam has a good shot of this. So Ronhart has a bit of a run here. We'll look to the inside of Long, and then, yeah, I think maybe just mistimed the run, just gave him a little bit of a tap, and then Long spent the whole backstretch fishtailing that race car to try and save it, and then Hart, having nowhere to go, will end up down there as well. So with that, a busy pit road. We have pretty much our whole entire field down on pit road as Justin Brooks led the charge down to pit road. Looks like Brooks will take, 2 tires, and that is the case all the way to Zach Coyer. Looks like Coyer in the 13 came out of pit road in P number 13. So with that pit stop cycle, that will now cycle Zach Nichols to the race lead. Then Tanner Tallarico second, Dave Payton third, Stephen Rochford fourth, and then Scott Rochford rounding out the top 5. And then right behind them is the fresh tires of Brooks and Company. Like I said, the first car on 4, it looks like will be the 13 of Zach Coyer. So Zach Nichols, first time race leader here tonight, will choose the inside starting lane here in the 44. And I say, with a little bit of fun here, a little bit of a restart, I say let's do a little turn 3, turn it up on restart number 4 here of the night. So back here to racing action here. Zach Nichols continues to lead the point over Tanner Tallarico. Caution flag and the big one. It is a parking lot here in turns 3 and 4. A lot of cars involved, and it is a track blocker as cars continue to get in the mess here. As the 66 tries to get that car turned on around, and that is the first big one of the night. So we'll take a look here, see what happened. It may have started with the 93 of Pileski. Yeah, him and Austin get together. We'll take a look one more time at that, see if we get a better angle. It looks like Pileski maybe got loose, maybe thought Austin was going to be a little bit further down the track, and then Pileski will tag Hoffman, and then it's just a track blocker as everyone tries to get their cars woed on up and stopped. Tim Rogers able to get that car to a complete stop right in front of the melee. Let's ride on board with Tim Rogers here at full speed and see what the 48 saw here. You can see cars up on 2 wheels, smoke everywhere, and Rogers able to get on the binders very nicely. And when it's all said and done, Rogers able to come out, I believe, in P number 9, the best car with 4 fresh tires. So heck of a run by him, but a lot of wounded race cars from that one. Scott Austin, James Pileski, Zach Coyer, all still on pit road. So under our 5th Boardwalk Sub caution of the night for the first big one here at Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, you know, you get the sounds of the waves crashing. That one was definitely the big one crashing there down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Lights will go out around the Myrtle Beach Speedway here for their 5th restart. The field will re-rack, restack. And look at this, folks. Once again, Zach Nichols choosing the outside lane, but Justin Brooks in that 33 machine, the car to beat, will restart in P number 3. Here we go. iRacing pace car heads down pit road. It's going to be a Nichols Tallarico front row restart. Zach Nichols in the 44 in control. He will jump on it, and we go back to green. One further on back. Looks like Hayden Swank gets jacked up by Ron Hart. That will check up the outside line big time, but luckily right at the start, everyone spread out enough that no big incident there at the moment. So we will stay green flag racing here as Zach Nichols continues to lead the field here. Brooks right on the back bumper. He will take a dive to the inside of the number 1. Justin Brooks has only 2 fresh tires, but they are newer than the cars around him. So Brooks trying to use those on up if he can, and so far able to get up to 2nd. Now the 2 juggernauts, last season's champion Zach Nichols, the guy that has won 4 in a row when he started, Justin Brooks. These guys gonna do a battle out here for these last 35 laps. 2 of the best iRacers on the sim go bumper to bumper here. Nichols will go the defensive line about half a car length lower than the 33, or as we heard in the Prime broadcast here, headlight lower than the 33 machine. Justin Brooks knows he just needs to run here down the front stretch. He will take a look to the inside. Brooks goes. Battle for the race lead. Let's ride on board with Zach Nichols and see just how close they get for this lead. Zach Nichols gonna try and race his heart out up in the 2nd lane. What Nichols cannot have is that nose, that right front, go in front of the 44. Once that happens, Brooks has control, and right now that is the case down the backstretch. They will pull even, but Brooks arcs out Nichols just a little bit. Great battle for the race lead here as Brooks, like I said, has that half car length advantage. Now 3/4 of an advantage. He will get clear down the backstretch. Will Zach Nichols try the crossover? Maybe a little bit too early for a move like that, Nichols says, as he will slot right to the back bumper of the 33 machine. Will put pressure on Brooks in case he makes any sort of mistake, which will be a tall ask. Further on back here, top 6 all by themselves. Then right here, the battle of 4-6, Tim Rogers, JJ McCray, as we get a caution flag for the 6th time here tonight. And it looks like the 73 machine of Jamie Prevost stopped here going into turn number 3. We'll get that car right, a little bit of right front damage, so we'll have to see what happened to the 73 here. Looking at full speed here, Prevost a little bit loose, and it looks like maybe the 66 machine of Rochefort, those two make contact. Let's take a look at it one more time. Maybe slowed on down a little different camera angle, but I think this one mostly a racing deal here, as I think the 73 machine of Prevost just got a little bit loose. You can see the back end kick out. Austin trying to work on down, and yeah, maybe Austin could have gave a smidge, or excuse me, Rochefort. It was Stephen Rochefort. Jeez. The 66 is Stephen Rochefort into the side there. Maybe Stephen could have given a little bit of room, but I think Prevost definitely a little bit sideways there, and just 2 cars meeting in the same lane here. So now it is 30 laps to go under our 6th Boardwalk Subs caution flag out here. Justin Brooks has reclaimed the race lead Zach Nichols currently running MP number 2. Tanner Tallarico third. Dave Payton NP number 4. And then how about this? Stephen Hoffman rebounding to P number 5. Hoffman currently running in the 5th position here. So Justin Brooks here choosing this time by. We'll choose the inside lane here in the 33. So with just under 30 laps to go, it's going to be Brooks Nichols front row restart. Justin Brooks in control though as the iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and we get ready to fire off the field here once again. Justin Brooks on the loud pedal, and he gets away with a great jump. We go to green flag racing here once again. Nichols able to slam the door shut in front of Tallarico for second. Top 3 single file out. Now Payne able to get a clear lane down to the bottom side in the 38. Oh, one car going around. That is JJ McCrae. Somehow McCrae will hang on to it. Ron Hart, though, heavy damage to the 51. He will get that car rolling, but it looks like that right front loose on the 51. His night probably done. You can see the sparks out of the back of the 51. We'll bring it down to the inside and take it off the speedway. So we will stay green flag racing, but that will put a gap between TJ Hansen and JJ McCrae, you know, about a 1.5 gap between the two of them. And how about that? TJ Hansen, that 41 machine running up inside of the top 10. Hansen currently running P number 9 here as we get a caution here towards the back here. And it looks like the 73 machine, heavy damage this time. Smoke coming out of that race car in that right front. Even more damage now. So we will take a look here, see what happened to the 73 machine of Jamie Prevost. Right here, heading down the backstretch, the blue and white 73 machine heading into turn number 3. We'll get to, just back end comes around on the 73. Greggy Long having nowhere to go. And man, a big impact for the 73 machine of Prevost as that thing snapped on around. Then he got hooked into the outside wall and nothing there that the 21 machine of Long could do, but a big time impact to that outside wall by the number 73. Man, that was a big time hit. So probably Jamie Prevost's night's gonna come to an end there with that one, as that car probably gonna be too much damage to repair here this time by. You see the 24 machine of Mark Welch getting the wave around. So I believe with that, that'll put about 14 cars onto the lead lap here at the moment. I think this time by Justin Brooks should get the choose, as he does not. It is 2 to green here. So once we go back racing, folks, it's going to be a 20 lap shootout here tonight to settle things for race number 4 of the Postma Flooring late model stocks. And you know, this race started off, I think, only about 2 or 3 cautions in the first half. Since then, a flurry of cautions and some big ones at that. I mean, Pileski out, Austin out, Hart out, now Prevost out, Dunnigan maybe out, as no, it looks like he will get out on the track. So 4 cars done here tonight. Now only leave 18 cars out on the raceway. Like I said, only 14 of them on the lead lap here, as the lights will once again go out. Justin Brooks once again chooses the inside lane. Did that choice last time, once again gonna do it again here. So the field will re-rack, restack, get them double fouled on up as we get ready to turn them loose for a 20 lap shootout. It's gonna be Brooks, Nichols on the front row. Justin Brooks though in control. Zach Nichols, though, on the restart there, he's able to get right to the back bumper of Brooks. And man, a great restart from the 44, able to slot right behind the race leader. Further on back, though, Stephen Hoffman able to get fourth away from Dave Payton. Now Payton has to be careful because here comes Hayden Swank. Swank involved in caution number 1 of the night. He is battling his way back up into a top 5 as Swank trying to work over the 38 machine. They'll go door to door here down the backstretch. Top 4 single filed out here with now 18 to go at the stripe. This is the first battle side by side, of course, right behind them. Greggy Long trying to make his way back through the field. Same with Zach Coyer in the 13 machine. Right here, this battle continues to go on here. Swank able to get the advantage. Swank able to get clear. So Hayden Swank back into the top 5 for the first time here tonight with 17 to go. But here comes Payton with the crossover. Payton will drive it in there deep, wash up just a little bit. Can Payton keep his nose to the inside of the 35? Yes, he can. Dave Payton says, you're not taking this top 5 finish that easily away from me. But man, oh man, Hayden Swank trying to drive the wheels off that 35 machine. He's trying to get clear the hard way up top of Dave Payton. Dave Payton, the B main bandit, trying to get that top 5 here, trying to keep that car pinched down low, and won't be enough. Hayden Swank able to keep it high side and handsome and get clear of Payton. So Hayden Swank, like I said, up back into the top 5 here with about 15 laps to go. Justin Brooks, of course, leading the way over Zach Nichols. Tanner Tallarico in 3rd. Stephen Hoffman has made it up to 4th. Like I said, Hayden Swank in 5th. 6th, currently Dave Payton, then Tim Rogers, TJ Hansen, Greggy Long, and then Zach Boyer. And right behind them, Stephen Rochford in the 66. He's trying to make his way through. One of those many drivers sitting well in the overall points in both the late model stocks and the street stocks. The guy that is leading those points here coming into tonight, though, is a 78 machine of McRae. McRae has been the guy to beat inconsistency in both the late model stocks and the streeters. Though tonight, a lot of damage to the 78, and he's just trying to hold on to as good of a finish as he can get. Right now, only on 13th, so this could open up that overall points to anyone. Further up front, though, Hayden Swank driven up to 4th. He's able to get clear of Hoffman. Hoffman, though, slamming the door shut on Dave Payton. Top 3, though, by themselves. But these guys trying to duke it on out before it's over. Right behind them, though, TJ Hansen under fire as Greggy Long makes it to the inside of the 41. Now here comes Zach Coyer in the 13. That time by from the flagman to open palms. It is 10 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. Hansen starting to fall back just a little bit in the outside lane. He is hoping for an opening, but that won't come until the 66 of Stephen Rochford will go on by. And the bummer for Hansen that it will drop him out of the top 10 here. If he loses a spot to the 66, that will put him into heat number 11 here. Single digits left to go here tonight. Justin Brooks starting to drive away from the cars behind just a little bit. Has about a 3/4 of a second advantage over Zach Nichols. And then Tanner Tallarico right behind Nichols, about 2 to 3 car length gap behind those two. Greggy Long, though, flying out here on the speedway, trying to chase down those cars in front. Happening like to Tim Rogers, Dave Payne, but I don't think the 21 will have enough time before it's over. But this could help as Payne gets to the inside of Hoffman here with 6 laps to go. Here comes Dave Payne trying to make something work. Payne still fighting once again for that top 5 finish. Payne and Hoffman drag race down the backstretch. 2 veterans of ASRC duking it out here. Payne will have the advantage down the front stretch, so Dave Payton could be on his way to that top 5. Able to arc out the 86 just a little bit. Now this is what Payton likes to see. Tim Rogers trying to get in front. Oh, Hoffman tries to slam the door. He gets into the back of Payton. They all 3 go around. Oh man, oh man. All 3 of those guys had themselves a top 10 finish and maybe even a top 5, but that all goes out the window in a hurry as Hoffman and Payton go on around here. As we'll take a look here one more time, see what happened going into turn number 1. Of course, Hoffman up on that second lane, trying to get the door shut on Tim Rogers. Doesn't quite get clear. They make contact. Then Hoffman sliding into the back of Dave Payton. That will send those cars around. And then with Rogers being so close, he will make contact. And oh man, TJ Hansen, Steven Rochford also make pretty significant contact with that. So about 5 cars with big time contact, but you know, 3 of them on the short end of the stick, that being Rogers, Payton, and I believe Hoffman, as I believe we did get a claim with that. So with the caution coming out when it did, that will be our 8th and final green flag yellow, because now we go into our 1 attempt at a green-white checkered here tonight. So like always, folks, green-white checkered, we will take the green. If the field causes a caution before we seize the white flag, the field will be slowed on down. This race will finish under caution. If we see that white flag, though, we will be racing back to the checkered no matter what happens. This could be the one time Zach Nichols needs to hit a restart. This could be his last-ditch effort to try and get the win here, but Justin Brooks has been lights out on restarts. It'll be hard to see what could change for here. As here we go, Justin Brooks once again elects the inside lane here. So 1 and only attempt at a green-white checkered. Top 5 looking like Brooks, Nichols, Tallarico, Swank, and Long. Here we go. iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and off of turn number 4, the field will come. What kind of restart can Brooks get? Here we go. Justin Brooks away with a great restart. He did everything perfect there. He just has to hit 4 more corners. Tallarico gonna try and get around Nichols. They make contact there in turns 1 and 2. Tallarico has the advantage. He will get clear for a second. Nichols will drive it in there deep. We will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at Myrtle Beach. Right behind them, Hayden Swank waiting in the wings, trying to get a top 3 finish. Get on the podium to chat with me. Off the turn number 4 for the final time for the field. Everyone able to keep it rolling. Zach Nichols will slot into 3rd. And on the front stretch, Justin Brooks goes 5 in a row, 3 wide at the line, further on back. Craziness, but man, Justin Brooks on a mission out here, and will pick up the win here tonight at Myrtle Beach. So the Justin Brooks design number 33 will once again bring it to the front stretch here and burn it on down. Justin Brooks here do the infield grass, and looks like gonna classy move here. Gonna park it down here in victory lane here at Myrtle Beach. So Justin Brooks will back her on down, park her down in victory lane with some smoke. He's maybe not done here, folks. I know Justin Brooks definitely pumped up about this one, as he will once again do his signature. Gonna bring that car around the wrong way for a little bit, and man, still burning on down. I know he was pumped up for this race. He was looking forward to this one. I'm sure he'll have a lot of good things to say here once we get chatting with him here in just one moment. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with our post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Myrtle Beach here for the post-race show, and the first driver we'll be talking to is the driver of the number 44 machine, that being Zach Nichols. Zach, do you got a copy? It's Breath of Jet in the booth here.
Yep.
Alrighty, my man. A hectic race, especially that second half, but when it's all said and done, all the pressure on, you're able to bring it home P3. What'd you think of 125 plus laps here at Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, it was fun. We kind of took our time early, and then we got that caution on like lap 30 or so, and we went green for quite a bit, so I had faith in everybody to go green, so I pitted for tires, and then yeah, it seems like after that we just kind of kept getting cautions, and it kind of threw our strategy out the window. So yeah, once I saw Justin come down 30 laps later and get tires, I knew we were kind of screwed at that point. So yeah, it was a fun race, and glad we were able to stay on the podium.
Yeah, still able to hang on to a podium. Yeah, of course, hindsight, where it's at, change everything about a race as, hey, look, sun finally coming out a little bit late in the race, but I guess the sunshine finally shining, at least for your top three cars.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was I really wish the setup was a little bit looser. I feel like I could have done a little bit more with the car, but yeah, after we got some laps on it, it got kind of tight, and just couldn't really do nothing.
Yeah, you can blame the setup builder. That would actually be myself for a bad setup here tonight. But I didn't expect it to be this cloudy here at Myrtle Beach. I tested in the daytime. I thought it was a pretty good setup. But, the realistic weather, keep that X factor into the races. And, yeah, it did not, I don't think, help make the race as fun as it probably should have been.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the top in 3 and 4 was working pretty good, and then it was kind of not there in 1 and 2. So it like made for a fun race, was just like, because like the top would work in 3 and 4, but wouldn't in 1 and 2. So you kind of had to just man up and try to burn the right front off in 1 and 2, which it's not a good thing. But yeah, we were able to stay up here after our pit stop and finish P3.
Yeah, and that you were able to do, like we said, hindsight maybe where it's at, probably would have came down later. if we didn't have all those cautions. But in the end, able to hang on P3. How tough was it to keep those tires behind you, though, starting up front on those restarts? And even that last one, you and Talarico, door to door here in a green-white checker, where you both just trying to finish that race, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew like pretty much everyone behind us had better tires, so it's with me and Tanner just kind of sitting there side by side, it didn't really let anyone else past us. So yeah, luckily me and Tanner both finished second and third. So yeah.
Yeah, overall, a pretty good night. And yeah, once again, of course, you racing your real life cars up at the fast track at Berlin. How'd that go for you, Zach?
I mean, not that great. I ended up P5. Just kind of got stuck behind traffic and couldn't really pretty much the same thing. You couldn't really do much besides just wrecking the people in front of us to get around them. So yeah, it was unfortunate, but yeah.
Man, you make it sound like a P5 is a bad thing. And what's this ASRC where you going out there and whooping people? That's awesome to hear, though. Even a bad night's P number 5, your competitors better watch out.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a P5 is not a bad day unless you know that your car is capable of more. So that's the only reason I feel like P5 was bad. But yeah, I mean, those cars are a ton of fun, especially at Berlin. So luckily we go back there 2 more times this year, and hopefully we can do better there.
Yeah, I know you can because I know you're a throttle down type of driver. Love the speeds of that place. And yeah, the fastest track by a little bit you guys go to right there, right? What's your mile per hour you thinking at down the end of the straightaways?
I mean, we're over 100 in the turn 3. It's a ton of fun. Like you said,
Ooh.
I'm a throttle down kind of person.
Yeah, that's definitely hauling in those cars. And Zach here tonight, do you think we'll see you tomorrow night? First time in a little bit, we might see you for a double.
I mean, I like this track, so probably.
Awesome stuff. I love to hear it. And Zach here tonight, a P number 3 to Talarico and Brooks. Can't hang your head on that. 3 of the best sim racers up on the podium. You guys put on a great show. So before we let you go and celebrate the P number 3 here, Zach, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and have you think who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or maybe some people, of course, tuning into the broadcast.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Professional Sterilizer Services and Consulting, Carney's Complete Auto Service, RSS Mobile Trailer Repair, Hoax Graphics. They help us a ton out in the dwarf stuff, and you guys for broadcasting. You guys do a great job. Tanner for putting this whole league on. It's a ton of fun to come out each week and drive. And my dad and my uncle Kenny are watching. Like to shout them out, and yeah.
Awesome stuff, Zach. Well, once again, congrats on the P number 3. You, my man, have a great rest of the night, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow with the Street Stocks.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher, the driver of the 44. It is Zach Nichols. Now we'll head to our runner-up finisher, that being last week's winner, the driver of the number 1, Tanner Talarico. Tanner, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Gotcha, Brett.
Alrighty, my man. First and foremost, how was 125 plus laps here at Myrtle Beach?
I thought tonight was good. I love this track. I don't know what it is about this place, but I feel like every time we race here, or I get to race here, it's a good time, and I don't know if it fits my driving style good or what, but I just always feel like the car's underneath me, and I felt no different tonight, and it was fun racing up there with Zach and Justin. I know we say it a lot when Justin's here, but I mean, that dude's super fast, and just to even be in the same zip code as that guy, or even Zach, is a big accomplishment, at least for myself. So I'm happy with the way it went, and I've been pretty fortunate the last couple of weeks to keep talking to you, Brett. So we'll just try to keep the streak going.
Yep, that is the key. I believe you took over the points lead here last week with the win. Here tonight, Tanner, you extend that points lead, and not only that, you had to start dead last on the field. How is that slicing and dicing, and with all those cautions in the strategy?
I think, you know, and this isn't usually the case, but I think for the most part, a lot of the craziness kind of happened behind me for most of the race. I mean, there were a couple things that happened in front, but nothing too big. And track position is just such a big deal in this car. I mean, it can be easy to pass at times. I think that's another reason why I like this track, because it's a little bit easier to mess up, so there's some more passing opportunities and stuff. But really, just knowing when to pit and knowing when to take tires and stuff at the right time is a big part of what kind of gets you up front in these things. So yeah, I was able to pass a handful of cars, but a good chunk of that I just got lucky on when I decided to come down pit road, and it all worked out getting me up there at the right time.
Yeah, that it did. If hindsight's where it's at, but would you have changed anything with your strategy? Maybe coming a little bit later. I know you're one of the cars to pit on the earlier side, but you got the track position and were able to hold on to it when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because when you start that deep in the field, like I had mentioned a second ago, it's just so hard to pass. Like when you're kind of trapped deep like that, you got to take advantage of whatever you can to get big chunks of positions at a time. So I knew when I pit, it was kind of early, but I also knew that at some point in time, everybody else is probably going to pit as well. And I pit and tried to be one of the few people on my strategy. I think there was 2 or 3 other cars with me, but it worked out because it got me up front when it did, and thankfully we got a caution about 20 or so laps after I took my tires, and that's kind of when everybody else decided to pit. So really, the fall off between 20 lap tires isn't super tremendous here. If that had been 40 or 50 lap tires, probably would have been a bit of a different story. But I think just because it was only 20 laps, it wasn't that big of an advantage for those guys, and I just kind of made the net gain on the track position. So the more and more I run these things, I think I start to familiarize myself with how important the pit strategy is and when you decide to pit and where you're running on track. And I think I'm finally getting that equation figured out, and it's making my life a whole lot easier behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, that it is still, getting the hang of these things. And speaking about the hang of these things, what'd you think of the overall? You said you're a big fan of Myrtle Beach. What'd you think of the setup of the late model stocks here tonight? Under the cloud cover, so I'm sure that affected these cars a little bit. Sun, of course, coming out here during the post race show. What'd you think? Still able to run both lanes, or seem like, of course, bottom side's where it's at, but it's tough not to have that here at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I thought the setup was really close to perfect, honestly. I mean, I'm a fan of any setup where how you fire off with it on new tires really dictates what it does on old tires. And I mean, if you're dive bombing into the corner really, really deep and you're putting a lot of wheel into it, generally you'll get tight because you'll just chew up the right front tire over the course of the run versus, maybe lifting early to get into the corner and kind of using the throttle to turn. You'll probably have more of a tendency to cook the right rear, and it'll start to over rotate and get loose on the long run. So I like the setup just because it was like that, and it required you to kind of have the perfect balance, entry, center, and exit over the course of the tire run, and I feel like I'm decent at that. And then, yeah, as far as the lines go, I was actually talking with Zach in the waiting room, and him and Justin could do this line kind of getting down into turn 3 where they really took a wide arc down into the corner and kind of did like a late diamond, and I couldn't really get my car to do that. So I kind of had to rely more on just really driving into the corner deep on the bottom, and I was rolling the center really, really well. I'd get off the corner, and usually by the time I'd roll the center, Zach would be kind of like crossing over into my lane, and I kind of had to lift for him. But I felt like the car was driving good, and yeah, setup was a 10 out of 10 in my book.
Love to hear that here, Tanner. And yeah, of course, going to the end of the race here, another race ending in a green-white checkered. You restarted on the inside lane and got the advantage on Zach Nichols and able to snatch P number 2 there at the checkered.
Yeah, I think that probably goes back to the little bit of differing pit strategy between the two of us. I think Zach probably pit about 20 laps before I did, and I know I just said a second ago that 20 laps wasn't that big of a deal, but I think when you just got everybody gripping and ripping and you're that close on a late race restart like that, maybe that little bit of an advantage comes into play. But I actually, I don't know how well you can see it on the broadcast, but I did actually catch one of the little turtle bumps of the left front tire right there in that restart. I hadn't hit them all night long, and then I barely caught one and didn't really upset the car that much, but I kind of had to lift for a split second, and I thought Zach was going to try to cross me over off of 2, and so I kind of protected the inside down the backstretch, but I think Hayden was able to just barely squeak his nose inside of him and kind of prevent that from happening. So really from that point on, I just kind of was mirror down and out the windshield and trying to see what I could do to at least maybe try to catch Justin. I mean, he's just so fast, and rarely does that guy make any mistakes. So just made sure I hit my marks, and if by the mere chance miracle that he did, maybe I'd have an opportunity to try to do something. But yeah, nonetheless, congrats to Justin, and yeah, finishing second to that guy's like a win, so we'll take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, last 3 races, Tanner, you've averaged a finish of like 1.66 here. So awesome stuff by you here. And before I let you go, I think we got some cool stuff coming this weekend. I think the taxi cab coming out for a pretty special night at the Big O, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna break out the street stock again. We had some mechanical gremlins on opening night that we had to miss a race, but wasn't really planning on running all the races anyway. I think there's at least one more that I know we won't be at, but we'll be back this weekend at Owasso. It's fan appreciation night, so we'll be doing autographs and cool stuff like that for the fans. It looks like the weather's going to be pretty good, and looking forward to get the taxi cab back out there. So haven't really had a real fair shake at it yet since opening night. So kind of had some stuff plaguing us right from the time we rolled off the trailer, but looking forward to getting back out there with kind of something that's 100%. So yeah, Saturday can't come soon enough, and ready to hop back behind the wheel and get some laps under my belt sometime this weekend.
Oh, for sure. Grip it and rip it and sign some autographs. So awesome stuff. If you want Tanner Talarico's autograph, that's a place to get it.
Come on out. It'll be a great time. We'll be signing autographs and hanging out after the races. I've got some old t-shirts and stuff from last season that are starting to get a little bit outdated that we got to make room for some new stuff coming in. So I think we got about 50 t-shirts that we're just going to be giving them away. So while they last. So during the autograph session and stuff, if anybody wants a t-shirt, first come, first serve. So not sure even what the sizes are that we got, but I'd love to be sending some people home with some cool bright yellow race car merch. It's easy to see in the grandstands.
Hey, that's awesome stuff and very, very cool. So, Tanner, once again, congrats on the runner-up finish here. Before we let you go, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you because I know there's a lot of people you got to thank on this #1 car, some of those teammates, and anyone else watching on the broadcast or anyone else you'd like to give a shout-out to here tonight.
Yeah, so first and foremost, obviously, I got to thank the ASRC admin team. You guys are awesome helping to do this week in and week out. Definitely wouldn't be able to do it without you guys and you, Brett, for putting on the broadcast. You wear a lot of hats around here, so thank you for what you do. As far as the race car goes, I got my employer, Elick Brothers Roofing on the hoods. Got to make sure I thank them so I keep my job. Boardwalk Subs, family plug. Jersey style soup, subs, and salad all over West Michigan. Mike's High Performance Gears. Postma Interiors, also Postma Flooring, our title sponsor of the series. So thanks to Zach. Pretty sure he's up at Berlin right now, but I'm sure he'll go back and watch us back. KRW Performance and Customs, Judy and Keith down in Chicago, Accurate Inspections. And also want to just give a quick shout out to girlfriend Riley for letting me do this a couple nights out of the week, especially now that race season's around and we just feel like we're doing something race related every single night. And yeah, like I said, appreciate you, Brett, for doing this every single week, and looking forward to, I believe we go to Dover next week, so that'll be interesting, but should be a hell of a show, just like it always is in these things.
Yep, going to be some quote-unquote super speedway-esque racing in these, but here tonight at Myrtle Beach, Tanner, walking away with another podium finish. You, my man, have a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon again here.
Yeah, thanks for everybody watching at home, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next week.
Alrighty, folks, that was our second place finisher, Tanner Talarico. And now we'll head to our race winner here tonight, that being the 33 machine of Justin Brooks. Justin, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, what's going on, bud?
Alrighty, my man. I know you're looking forward to Myrtle Beach. First and foremost, 125 plus laps here tonight. How are we feeling at the beach?
Well, if it was real life stuff, my arm would be killing me from how tight the setup was tonight. But I mean, we're sitting here in the virtual cockpit, so it wasn't that bad. Had a lot of fun. I mean, had to start 12th because of the invert, and I decided, all right, I'm gonna drive the crap out at the beginning to get myself out front, set the pace. That's what I did. Save tires out front, just try to manage the gap on everybody. And I seen Zach and them pitted around, I think it was like 40, 50 or something like that, and we had a caution along 75 or so. So when I pitted, I knew that he was going to be at a pretty good advantage because with these cars, we kept having yellows after he pitted. It just, the heat cycles cools it down. So I knew he's pretty much going to be on almost the same tires as I was. And I had to make quick work there in the beginning and drive the pure crap out of it and go from sixth up to third, and then get my Tanner there in the start and set Zach up for the pass and uh, complete the pass on him and try to get out front and just ride, set a pace. Because earlier in the race, I hit the inside wall down in turn 3. I don't know how bad it hurt the car, but I mean, it was definitely tighter after that, which definitely made it a little bit less fun, but had to get acclimated to that and figure out how to drive the car around the damage. It wasn't too terrible when I come into pits, damage wise, but it was still enough to affect it. But I think I did pretty good with managing it. And there at the end, like I said, I just tried to keep the car rolling, keep the car straight, try to keep it off the wall, save the right front a little bit because I had a feeling we were going to have late race restarts there because it sounded like over the voice chat some people weren't happy to each other. So I was figuring that somebody's going to get sent over the wall in a turn 1 from the way they were talking. But that didn't happen. So still saved tires just in case and had a late race restart there and got back on the gas pretty good and got a good start and just tried to set the pace there.
Yeah, and that you did, Justin. I mean, an awesome job, both with, of course, dealing with that damage. I didn't catch on the broadcast, so appreciate that insight. And yeah, changing conditions, of course, these running dynamic weather, and it seemed like that whole race was overcast. So I'm sure that didn't help the grip it and rip it kind of tight setup that probably was even tighter. And then that wall hit, like you said, probably just compounded things for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I like a loose race car. So I mean, I think it had something to do with the track temp. When I saw it was cooling down, it heated up in practice. I seen it heat up like 105, but when I seen it, I came back and set on my computer and it was like 96 degrees. I knew that setup was probably gonna be tight. So I mean, I just had to adjust, like I said, for it. And I think the thing about it ain't like I'm the only one that's tight. Everybody else is tight, so they're all trying to learn how to drive it in that way. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of tight setups, but I mean, I will it the best I can, and that's what I try to do tonight.
Yeah, that you did at one point hit there early in the race. I think you were up 8 spots in the first 8 laps. So, like you said, Justin, you were a man on the mission, just picking your way through the field. It was awesome to watch, and I'd say it worked out pretty good for you. It kept all the calamity behind you, and that 33 machine, maybe a left front nose scratch, but besides that, that car looking pristine at the checkered, which not a lot of cars look like.
What makes it better for me is that I'd rather be self-inflicted than someone else running into me, give me damage. I mean, I'd rather be mad at myself than mad at someone else. I mean, thankfully, like I said, I've said it before in interviews. These guys are fun to race with. They race you hard, but race you clean. And I really enjoyed it. Like when I got to Zach, like I mean, he pinched me. He wasn't giving me much room at all. I mean, he made it hard on me, but it was fun. I mean, it was fun to go elbows up with him and try to make best I could there in that restart and get by him, even though I know we were inches apart. Because there was a few times we got small little 0Xs, nothing to like upset our cars, but it was just like literally leaning on each other. So I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it was. And even in that battle, two really big, really good drivers going at it, giving it their all. And I mean, the top three here tonight, just some awesome, awesome drivers up there. Of course, Justin, you one of them. But yeah, you put on a heck of a show. So I want to say thank you to you for being a part of the race here tonight and being part of some of the action we got to enjoy. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm here to entertain the people and all that, entertain you. I don't know if I'm entertaining the other drivers per se, but I'm definitely giving the fans something to watch. I mean, I don't want to just go out here and start up front and lead every single lap. I enjoy like the inverts and stuff. I say that now until I get wrecked or something on the first lap, when I'm starting 12th. But it's a lot of fun. You have to work for it. You have to put the work in. And like I said, keep your nose clean, keep your fenders clean, keep your quarter panels clean. And here it's very hard considering you got the inside wall that sticks out. You got them big turtles in turn 1. If you hit either or, I mean, you're on for a ride. So I mean, it's very tricky and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I can't get over saying how much fun it is. Like I enjoy racing with these guys so much, and like I say every week, it's a lot of fun, and I'm very thankful to come over here and run with these guys.
Yeah, Justin, we always love to see your name load into the session here, and we really appreciate you here. Like you said, I'm sure the driver's not the most happy when they see your name load in, but I like to say, it just raises that bar that you got to be that much higher, and that's what we're here to do. We got to be able to race with the best of them. And you definitely set that bar up there. And these guys Just got to put that work in like you do, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, all it takes is a little bit of practice, getting acclimated with a car and all that. And these guys have got it figured out for sure. I mean, they're all fast. There ain't like I don't think there's like anybody I think that's slow at all over here. Because I'm a very honest person. They're all definitely competitive. They don't just give it to you. They bump and grind and do what they got to do. So I mean, like I said, it's a great group of guys to race with. It ain't too many leagues out there in iRacing that's like that right now. I mean, most guys usually, if you're faster than them any type of way, they'll just try to punch you and wreck you the first chance they get. These guys, they want to go after it. They want to go and try to swap the lead and figure out what they're doing wrong, or apply it the next corner and get faster. And it's a lot of fun, like I said.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, you guys look like you have a bunch of fun. Or Justin, you gotta love the leagues that go out there, and then once you start doing well, say, actually, you might be too fast for the league. We gotta get ready. Yeah, it's like, man, don't you want to try and learn and beat some of the people? You can't just kick them out.
Don't get me started on that because I've been kicked out a few and all that, and I
Yep.
want to say some things, but I'm a nice guy. I just try to be roll with it and try to understand. But I mean, like I said, it's just the world out there. Same thing in real life, man. I had the guy spot for. I think he's lost maybe 2 or 3 races in the last year and a half, and every single week we're getting protested and accused of cheating, this, that, and the other, and they never find nothing. It's always the same
Yep.
story. So I mean, at least out here, I haven't got accused of cheating yet or anything crazy like that. I mean, these guys, like I said, I think for the most part, these guys honestly like are really mature people, great group of guys, like I said, and they ain't gonna resort to stuff like that. I mean, like I said, none of them slow, none of them at all. Like I said, all these guys are really fast. I can name at least 5 or 6 people off the top of my head right now that, like I said, have the raw speed to come up here and run with me and stuff, and it makes it fun for me. Because, like I said, I don't want to go race something where I dominate or something. I want some people to keep me on my toes. And you got Zach Nichols, you got Tanner Tallarico, you got Ron Hart, James Pileski, Greggy Long. I mean, there's more people I can name that are in this league out there racing with you. It definitely keeps you on your toes. It ain't no walk in the park per se at all. I mean, like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
it's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it is. And yeah, Justin, even though, you picking up the wins, I think you've led, probably less than half the laps completed here. So, like you said, it's not you going out there waxing the field. It's competitive throughout the whole entire thing. And all it takes is that one maybe mistake by you one time during one race, and a lot of guys could capitalize on it.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, this field is close. I mean, you make any kind of mistake, you're getting freight trained to the back. I heard I was in Discord earlier, James Pileski, and it happened to him. And next thing I know, I heard something hit the wall. He was so mad. So I mean, we ain't gonna get into that, but that's just how the league we got here.
Yep, emotions run high. These people, like you said, tough, hard-headed racers, but at the end of the day, we're all out here having some fun. So, Justin, always great chatting with you, my man. Before we let you go and celebrate win number 3 on the season, I'm going to go hand the mic over to you once again and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or maybe some people watching at home.
Yeah, first and foremost, I got a buddy of mine that's watching right now, and he made a bet with me that I couldn't say having a lot of fun more than 10 times. And I told him I love racing this league; it's a lot of fun. So I was like, all right, bet. So that's why I had to keep saying I'm having a lot of fun because it is a lot of fun. That's probably like 15 times now. So how you doing out there, buddy? My girlfriend's watching too. Give a shout out to her. Obviously, first and foremost, she gets on to me for waiting to the very end of my interview, being serious to give her a shout out. So I'm gonna go ahead and thank her. Secondly, and thank you guys first and foremost again for the great league, great hospitality. I enjoy each and every one of these guys over here. Enjoy talking to you when I get the chance to. You do a phenomenal job with your broadcasts and how you do an announcing job in general. All these guys racing me clean, racing me hard. I hang out with when we're not on a virtual track. There's a lot of faces over here I didn't know a few months ago, but it's been a pleasure to get to know them personally, and I enjoy their company whenever, like I said, we're racing or we're not racing. Thank the viewers. Thank Justin Brooks Designs, Crow Sim Shots, Brooks Speed Shop. That's pretty much it, man. Let's keep it short and sweet.
Alrighty, well, appreciate it, Justin, there for the kind words. And I tell you what, it's been a pleasure getting to know you here. At one point, you're just another name here, especially on iRacing, one of the ones you see here or there in officials. And I tell you what, it's been awesome to get to know you as well, Justin. So here tonight at Myrtle Beach, picking up the checkered flag down in Victory Lane. So Justin, you have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, the 33 machine of Justin Brooks, going 5 in a row for races that the 33 has started. So that will do it here tonight from the post-race show. We'll head on over, get things wrapped on up here real quick with the race results, and then send things out of the way. First and foremost, got to thank all the live viewers tuning on in here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Ken out there in the YouTube chat lands, and all the replay viewers. So going over the race results from race number 4 of the Postma Flooring late model stocks, Justin Brooks picks up the checkered flag. Tanner Tallarico keeps his podium streak alive, finishing in P number 2. Zach Nichols will round out that podium. Hayden Swank, involved in caution number 1, will rebound to P number 4. Greggy Long here, involved in quite a few incidents, will bring a wounded and battered 21 machine home 5th. How about this guy here, TJ Hansen, able to bring it home 6th. Then our overall short track champion leader, combining both the street stocks and the late model stocks points, it is JJ McCrae finishing in 7th. Chuck Darling will finish 8th. Tim Rogers able to bounce back to a top 10 finish. He will finish 9th. And Zach Coyer rounding out the top 10. Mark Welch, first driver out of the top 10. He will finish 11th. 12th going to Dave Payne. JT Batson will finish 13th. Stephen Rochford, 14th. Scott Rochford in 16th. Or 15th. 16th is Stephen Hoffman. Zach Hummel will finish P number 17. And P number 18 will be Jay Dunnigan. 19th going to Jamie Prevost. 20th, Ron Hart. 21st, Scott Austin. And James Pileski, man, this guy cannot buy some luck for him. He will finish dead last in 22nd. So that'll do it here tonight from the Postma Flooring late model stocks at the Myrtle Beach Speedway for race number 4. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday. I'm sure we'll have the link out there a little bit sooner. Sorry for the beginning kind of difficulties and whatnot. Had something come up right before the start of it, so was scrambling, getting things ready, but I think that finish was definitely worth it here. So that will do it. I have been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Turn 3 partner with Premier Setup Shops. You can find a link in the description that will take you over to their website. A click just in and of itself would go a long way. Would be greatly appreciated from myself. So that will do it here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Series. You'll see a lot of the same names take on the Myrtle Beach Speedway. It should be another barn burner as well. But that will do it here tonight. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. And once again, I have been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.